So today on More Than 94, we have our guest, Brittnay Hiles, probably one of the best humans I've ever met. B. Hiles is from Baton Rouge, currently lives there, works as a project engineer where she manages improvement projects in the pharma division. B. Hiles graduated from A-State. She was an Indian and a Red Wolf with a degree in mechanical engineering. Probably legit one of the smartest people I know. Huge kudos to you, B, because majoring in engineering as an athlete is not for the faint. So B. Hiles, welcome to More Than 94. So first, B. Hiles, just take us through your journey on how you were even introduced to basketball, who first put the ball in your hands. Just walk us through that whole journey.
Cool. First of all, that's just too much of a good welcome and introduction. I'll take it. I don't deserve it, but I'll take it. Y'all being real nice to me today. But no. Yeah. So basketball for me, was just watching the game on TV, playing at recess, and that's basically was a discovery. Outside recess, like first, second grade, didn't even know what I was doing, but I guess I was doing something. Mind you, I've been this height since I was like 10, so I was already pretty big.
Everybody thought I was going to be like 6 foot something. I legit stayed the same height.
That's it. Like I post a video on Facebook like all the time. I'm like, I'm dunking on an 8-foot goal against the dudes because I was that big. So a classmate of mine, his dad was his own team. It was actually called the Braves. Mm-hmm. And he asked, send a letter home to my parents like, hey, we want her on our team. And so my mom was like, yeah, no, because there's a bunch of boys. You ain't about to go out there with them boys. If y'all know my mama, y'all know her. And so she was like, the only way you can play is if your dad coach. And my dad's like so quiet. So he was like, all right, well, cool. We're going to go out here and play. So that's how it started, man. Like my dad coached, he was really assistant coach. And then we got into the game, started first grade, second grade. Then went on, played with the boys until 5th grade. Once I got to 5th grade, I had to play with the girls. We changed schools. We went to private school. So we played with the girls, which was just so different, right? If you play with the boys your whole life.
And with boys and then going to private school, like the competition was even, I'm sure, different.
Oh, yeah. So, and it's like, these are boys that are, we had some guys that went to the NBA that I played against at that age, out of Baton Rouge, that played on LSU's team that went to the Final Four back in 2004. So, it was just like competitive, and the speed, right? We know the speed, the athleticism, and you just having to, they trying to knock you out, and then you go against girls and it's like, okay, excuse me, move out my way. You know what I'm saying? And then you get in that private school scene where it's like, we just happy to make a basket. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this is okay. You almost gotta take yourself down because you don't want to yell at the little girl. She just started playing. That's when they just start playing. Private school kids, they just try to do something. So that was the introduction to girls, and then so 5th to 6th grade, I played middle school. So we played up in middle school. So my 6th grade year, I played 7th and 8th grade basketball. And then in 7th grade, because I went to a small private school, we moved up to varsity. Mm-hmm. So I played varsity from 7th grade to 12th grade, which was an experience. There's stories for days about just that, transition from being 12 years old, playing against 18-year-olds, and having to compete, but thinking like I'm the stuff, I'm the baddest 7th grader out here. Yeah. And it's like, them seniors don't care, Yeah. And so then it's almost like you got to get back into that mindset. Okay, I got to play against the guys again because I got to change everything I've been doing, in this middle school league to now compete against, lack of better words, women, to me in the high school round, being as skinny as I was and, big feet and just trying to get my body, to, to play at that level. And then from 12th grade to college, A-State.
A-State.
Gotcha. So you was so you didn't play AAU basketball or nothing?
So I didn't play. So the crazy thing is I did basketball and track. Okay. And track was just one of those things I didn't really care for it, but I was decent at it. And I was a jumper.
What did you run?
So I did triple jump, long jump, and then I ran the 800 and a mile. So those
she
are
ran the mile.
Events.
She ran because she ran a 5 minute in Arkansas State. Come on.
Wait. She was one of those people.
Brittnay was the best mile runner.
I was a Nigerian. Yeah.
First of all, why are we running a mile can we not do some sprints? I hate
and she had a science to it because I remember I first went out there. I was out there trying to book it, and Brittnay was just back there just chilling. She gonna gas out here soon.
And then freshmen I'm finna beat everybody.
Nene came in wanting to beat everybody's everything. All right, she asked them who gonna win this. I'm gonna win it. Yeah. That first time Nene got out there and ran a mile, she shoots out there, and then she looks back and she's like, "You going too slow." I was like, "Dude, we got 4 laps. You had the 200." And she was like, "Whatever." So she just kept going. I'm like, either Nene is gonna be a very good miler, or she has no idea what she's doing. Yeah. Come back to, she had no idea what she was doing.
Had no idea. And then Brittnay was pume. I was like, "Oh Lord, I had no gas left in the tank."
I wanted to pass by. I'm gonna let her.
She was better
talk about this after.
She could have literally. I was out there getting it. And you could just tell Brittnay probably was like, "Bro, she's so stupid."
She doesn't know. But she'll learn. She doesn't know. But
it only took one time for me. After that, I was with Brittnay the whole time. And I was like,
"You did run the mile really well."
Yeah. So I was I stayed with Brittnay after that. I was right behind her. I was like, "I ain't doing that again."
Yeah, you gotta pace that thing, man.
It's pace, but also mental toughness.
For sure.
And that's why we run the mile.
That's why we ran.
It has nothing to do with basketball.
Nothing
to do with basketball.
And then we were out there, we were like, "What? This is stupid." Blah, blah, blah. And then you think about it, it was stupid for sure. But it wasn't trying to teach us. It didn't translate to the basketball court at all. It didn't make us have more endurance. Really, it was just the mentality.
No.
Right. It was.
It's a mental push my body.
Yep.
Right. Because we're not track people. I'm former track, but it still was a difference because I'm not training. Right. I'm in the gym. I'm not outside running 2 miles to prepare for 1 mile. So mentally, that's what everybody does. That's right. I remember watching Pat Summit, right? Tennessee was my school that I wanted to go to. Nice. And they doing the mile on the track. And I'm like, ooh, can you imagine being 6'3" and above, having to run a freaking mile?
No, who used to be a beast at the mile?
Sloop, man.
Sloop was killing it. Sloop was killing it.
Yeah.
But no, Adrian, Adrian was good too. I just remember coming in, and I was just like Nene, but a little bit more reserved. Nene's way more outspoken about who she's trying to beat and where she's trying to go.
Yes.
So I remember coming in there, my mindset was all right, they running 6:30. This is nothing. And I remember my first mile I ran my freshman year, I got 3rd or 4th. And Allie Carter was like, you got to get a better time each time you run it. And I was in my head, I was like, I know what I could really run. I know I could go 5, but I was like, okay, cool. But that was the standard of
it was the standard. Yes.
Every time you run it, you got to get at least 1 second better.
Yep.
And I used to have to run that thing over. Definitely. I had mental toughness, but I still if I don't see the purpose in something.
I told you,
I feel it.
I always walk to the beat of my own drum. That is.
Yeah, you did. Brittnay, she legit erased half her memory from Arkansas State. I was like, it's not that. I think Josh was it didn't affect me, so I ain't tripping off of it. I don't remember. She anytime I said a story, she's like, was I there? What?
Where was
you were there? I'm like, you just don't remember nothing. But then when you talk about she legit just well, whatever.
Dude, like that's a 5-year period.
Their arms like
not the orb.
She's like, whatever.
Dude, that's a 5-year period that like you just cannot.
I mean, you can't. I mean, certain moments that I guess it didn't.
Yeah, I can't tell you like every game and how those went.
Right.
I guess I can really go back to like practices, you know, those tough, like getting out the mud moments. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily really like on the court during the games. I can't even remember like a lot of high school games, but you just remember the preparation, right? Because that's that's what gets you to that point, right? Practice is supposed to be hard. So when you get into the games or wherever, everything should just flow.
Yeah. So we talk about the mental toughness. So like how that mental toughness for the mile, how does that prepare you today or in life in general?
Yeah.
I mean, so
professional, but then also you coached as well, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, we can use the mile as just like that example of just something that we don't want to do, right? Like, we don't want to get up and go to work. We don't want to do these things, right? But it's just one of those things that, you know, just helps prepare you to where you're trying to get to, right? If things were easy, then nobody would do it. So if you have, and I think it just makes it more sweeter, right? Because we can sit here and talk about a mile all the time, like for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
And not even talk about a game because you knew what it took to mentally prepare, to physically prepare, to get yourself in that mindset to be like, this is just one of the hurdles I got to jump to take me to where I got to get to, because you can't step on the court. Like, remember, like you got to keep running that mile until you get that time to get the reward of stepping on the court to play the game that you love. You know what I'm saying? So in life and in professional life, you know, you got to go to Lord. I mean, engineering degree, like I hated going to class.
Let's talk.
You know,
engineering degree, full-time athlete. I mean, that's a challenge within itself.
That wasn't easy.
It's that balancing.
And then the travel schedule we had, not going to class, having to essentially teach yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
You have to teach yourself, y'all. I mean, the crazy thing is, you know, school is just, again, the mile to get to the real world, right? Mm-hmm. I don't do anything that I learned from school in my day job. But I can remember all the nights studying and lack thereof studying, you know, just to get up, to go sit in class. You're tired. You just get back from the road. You know, oh, crap, they're going to get a pop quiz or something. I got to answer one question in a whole hour. Like, I don't even know where to start. Like, where do you get it? That thing that just keep going, right? It's just goal setting, right? Like, I've known I wanted to be an engineer since I was in 6th grade.
Wow.
All right. So my brother is an engineer as well. Later in life, I found out my dad started college as a mechanical engineer as well, but had to drop out because my parents and my brother really young. So it's one of those things like, you know, if I go back and look at kind of how the path was laid for me, right? Like, you start off with your parents just being there and getting the groundwork laid. But then my brother, who's 12 years older than me, you know, did all this already, right? He played high school football, played college football, played professional football, and then became a mechanical engineer and then owned his own business. So it's like I had that as a blueprint. Now, whether I took it or not, I didn't have to be an engineer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It just happened to fall into that place. My mind is just mechanically inclined. You know, I'm just drawn to that type of stuff. So that's kind of where that path took me. And to say that, you know, again, like goal setting, like knowing what your end goal is, like I gotta get this degree because I want to work in this profession. Yeah. It's very difficult along the way. I mean, I had a year of academic ineligibility, you know, because on the court, off the court stuff, like just in college.
Right? You never missed a game though, right?
You never.
Probation.
Probation.
I was like, whoa, where was I?
Yeah, probation. So I went.
I forgot another thing, right?
I went from coming out of high school 4.0, which is relative. Yeah. I think high school is that's just doing your tests and doing your homework. You get to college, I'm like 3.6, 3.4. Okay. And then I dropped down to like 1.8, 1.4. And it's like, boom. So also you go from freshman year, right? You're taking all your gen ed classes. Mm-hmm. Everything is just high school times 2, right? High school prep. Yeah. Well, then sophomore year, you get into your major and we're traveling. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then there's an adjustment period there to where things aren't going right. Okay. Like I'm not in class. I'm not making the best of grades. Now I'm not going to class. And that's essentially what happened. Right. Mm-hmm. And then you get punched in the mouth and you're like, hey, you failing. Yeah, you're right. And it's like, you're failing because you see your grades, but you're not like cognizant to think of like how the GPA is sliding.
That's the fact. Yeah.
And so then you're like, okay, all right, we got to get back. Let's have a reset here. Mm-hmm. And the crazy thing that happened that year, I went to summer school. Sophomore year going into junior year was my family went to Hawaii, and I missed out.
Ooh, yeah.
And that's one of those things like, I'll never go to Hawaii. I may, but I won't go for free. You know what I mean? Right. Because my family was paying, that was just going to be a free summer for me. And so that was like a major reset where I'm like, all right, like I'm messing around, like let's get back focused to the goal, which is, for me, right, they always say student athlete first. So in order to be able to get to do the thing that I love, I got to go to class. I got to make these grades. They don't care if you're an engineer major. Nobody cares.
They don't care.
So it's just like,
they want to win.
What you got to do. Yeah. You just got to do what you got to do to get yourself eligible to be able to help us on this court.
Yeah. Yeah.
So after like college, did you have like challenges transitioning, like finding whether a job?
Like what was your challenge there? Like when you had college.
Something happened with the economy, probably similar to now that I'm thinking about it, because that was like 10 years. Yep, that's like 10 years ago. And that's kind of when the economy starts to shift every 10 years. Yeah. So graduated in 2010 and right out of college, like can't find a job, right? Because what we don't understand is when we're athletes, we miss out on so much, but we also are in a good situation to where we don't have to owe all these loans, right? Yeah. And have that student debt, but we don't get the co-op. We don't get the intern and we miss out on the experience. Yeah. It's similar to like a credit score, right? Mm-hmm. Having no credit versus having bad credit versus having good credit.
It's really the same thing. Yeah.
It's the same thing.
The same thing.
So I started out, even though I have a degree, but I have no experience. And so you're looking for people to take a chance on you. And so basically I just had to start networking and I didn't get anything. So from 2010 to 2012, I started getting into basketball, not because I wanted to. It just happened by chance. I'm in a barbershop getting Jay and Quinn's haircut, and this guy approaches me. He's like, "Hey, I know you." And I'm like, "Dude, I ain't even been here. Like nobody knows me. I've been gone. I've been in college." And he like starts running down the list of me and my family. I'm like, "Okay, cool." He's like, "Look, we got some girls. We need you to come and train." Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I ain't really trying to do basketball because the thing about it is like,
it might be your call.
The what happens after college is like you've played this game so long, right? And it doesn't end like you want it to end. Ooh. And then you have this resentment for basketball, right? You love it, but it's still like, God, I don't want nothing to do with it because it's
effective.
It has consumed my life. For so long that like, I don't want to do this no more.
And I always say like, there's nothing that I love like basketball. There's nothing I can put like, what What is
it's
there?
crazy. Like nothing that you love like basketball, but then you have a resentment to it. Like you don't even watch it. You don't want to play it.
Never
you don't want to be associated with it.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, you don't keep up with the brackets you play? I said, I don't even.
That's what
I don't
Avery, he's
watch
like, you don't watch it?
I said, no, I don't watch it.
The only thing that's really ignited my fire is Landon.
Yeah.
My son.
Yeah. The kids will do it.
Yeah, the kids, like I'm like, okay, I'm ready. Let's go.
Yeah. And so, and my niece plays. My brother, he begs me all the time, like, come out here. I'm like, no. So I finally just said yes. But I'm just like, for something that you love so much, I don't know. And it's not like that I don't want to teach somebody to play or coach somebody to. I guess that's what it is. Maybe it was a little resentment because it didn't end the way. Because I thought I was going to be this. I mean, I wasn't terrible, but on paper I was like track because I got injury, and whatever. Like. Mm-hmm. And then end like you want it to end.
Yeah.
And in a sense, like I just wanted to be like, conference player of the year. I wasn't trying to go to the WNBA by any means. Like,
it doesn't like.
Did you ever have that dream of I want to play professionally, or was it just like I want to go to one of the top colleges?
So here's the thing, like I never wanted to play professionally.
Really?
Let me not say that. Let me not say never. As a kid, that's the end goal, right? Yeah. You go high school, college, professional. Mm-hmm. But once you get into like high school, like to be honest with you, from high school to college is almost a burnout. Okay, because you play so much, and then you get into college, and now it's a job.
Enjoy it. Mm-hmm. It's a job.
Yeah,
it's a job because, and it's not like you don't have like the team camaraderie and all that. It's just 24/7, right? And you go back to like looking at all them videos that you watch as a kid, like the documentaries, and you're like, nah, college gonna be fun. But it's like, no, this is what you wake up, you do what you gotta do.
Dream.
It's an all day thing. So yes, then it becomes a job, and then it becomes like we can't do this.
It's okay. It's real life. Hey.
Hold on one second.
After more than 94,
right? We
have kids, we have families, we have all the things going on. So in between these takes, you might hear kids in the background because
it's a life.
It's life.
It's life.
It's life.
We ain't got no babysitter.
We don't have babysitters
on the weekend. Maybe at school on the weekend. No.
Right. Real life.
But I never thought about like having a resentment because I would have never even tried to put that like.
I never put it together like that, but I think that's like the perfect summary.
Yeah, it probably.
All right, I'm back.
Some type of resentment.
Yeah.
But I know you said so. The guy asked you.
So he asked me to come out there and coach, and I was like, no. And then I had to run my checks because random people can't just be talking to you at the barbershop and then trying to get you to come out there and do something. Like, I'm like, hold on. So I ran it by a couple people, and they're like, oh yeah, go out there, man, go give back to the community, go do something with these girls. And I was like, all right. And then I get there in the gym, and I'm like, oh, what is he doing? I'm letting him do his thing. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm seeing like the drills they do. And I'm like, all right, cool. He got a mixture of girls and boys, different ages. And it's just one of those things. And then I start to get involved. Like me, I'm very like type B personality. I'm cool with like waiting in the wing. I'm gonna kind of do one-on-one with you. I'm not going to really like be as outspoken until it gets to the point where I'm like, y'all ain't doing this crap right.
Yeah, right.
So then I'm like, all right, dude, like let me take the ball handlers at least, and you go do the shooters and the post play, whatever you want to do. Yeah. So that became the thing. And then that consumed my time from 2012 to 2018.
Wow.
So I ended up starting with just doing private lessons. We had a bunch of girls come through there, enough to where we made 3 teams. We had a 6th grade, 7th, and 8th grade team. And so I was like, I'm taking the 6th graders, it's just less stress, right?
Yeah. Attitude.
8th grade, like you gotta be ready. I really wouldn't. I was just happy to be there, just to kind of give back. But ended up doing that for a couple years and then started my own thing with that same team. And so I started my own organization, and then we played until they graduated. Huh?
Was it AAU
team?
Yeah, AAU team. Yeah.
Okay.
So we went, Yeah. So they were in 6th grade and I took them over full time from 8th grade to 12th grade.
Oh, okay.
And so the crazy thing about that is kids, they're like, oh man, you're playing college, because then you start seeing like yourself now in them, right? Mm-hmm. They're like, oh man, that's where I want to go. That's what I want to do. And I'm like, all right, your work ethic don't look like what you need. But okay.
And they don't believe you because you're not doing it. So, my brother and my niece has, and I'm telling my brother, like, listen, these are what college coaches are looking for. I know enough college coaches, so I know what they're looking for. And I'm a Division I athlete, mid-major, whatever. It's still Division I.
So wait, what are the college coaches looking for, Nene?
So they're looking for a great teammate, right? We don't want you coming off the court pouting. You got to have great. They're not looking for the top scorer all the time.
Right.
So you got that kind of a good teammate, know how to pass the ball, be unselfish, like the intangibles a little bit. Mm-hmm. And so, but nowadays I think people just think that if I score 30 points, then I'm going to get recruited.
Yeah.
That's not the case.
What is your attitude? Are you coachable?
Are you coachable? Mm-hmm. Exactly. And so but my brother don't believe me. And I'm like, I played, like, you act like I've never played basketball before.
Right.
Yeah.
So they just don't believe you. And then until somebody like, oh yeah. Oh, it's like, I think they came for recruiting or something. And the coach came up to him and was like, yeah, this, that, and the other. And he gonna come back and call me like, yeah, they said they ain't really. I said, I told you that, right? Like, I'm not gonna tell you nothing that, like,
I've been through the process.
Right. I've been through the whole, I've been recruited.
I've been through the process.
Right.
The whole thing.
I've been recruited.
Yeah.
And not
start to finish.
Mid-major schools. I've been recruited. So just, all you gotta do is listen. I'm telling you what she needs to do. And I'm just like, and then I'm just like, if you, and then you already know how I am. Like, if you don't listen, I'm not talking to you. I'm over it.
Yeah. No, that's exactly what it is. And they don't get it, right? And then everybody thinks they're going major D1 and you're like,
And the statistics are slim to even go Division I.
But this is the kicker. It is not the kids. It is the parents.
Ooh, let's talk about it, because you were a coach. You had your own organization. So like, what are like? Give us some gems. Like, what are the coaches looking for? Not only from an athlete, but even from the parents.
So what the parents don't get. So my organization was me basically fitting the bill. Okay. And because I fit the bill, then I make my own rules. It's my crap anyway, right? Yeah. So when I say fit the bill is like, I charge them $500. Anybody that has an AAU organization, you paying $500, that is a steal.
It's a steal.
Okay.
Yeah. So they make it.
This is their part-time job.
Yes. Okay. Yep.
So with that being said, I'm like, look, y'all ain't got to pay me. I'm going to pay for gym rental fees, I'm going to give, we're going to break down the tournament fees. We're going to pay for that. We'll pay for shoes. We'll pay for, the gear. Y'all just pay for your own hotel room.
Gotcha.
You ain't got to pay for mine. I'm going to fit all of that. So I had my core girls come. All right. Well, I started to lose kids because it was, oh man, this coach with this Adidas sponsorship, right, is telling us that we need exposure. Mm-hmm. Okay, we got to go to Vegas. We got to go to North Carolina. I'm like, listen, all right, cool. Y'all can go there. My biggest thing was my kids are going to go to camps. All right, we're going to play on the same field as you guys. But yeah, I don't have to go travel to Vegas, New York and all these different places all the summer. We have what we call the Battle of the Bayou that comes to New Orleans.
I remember that. I've heard of that.
Every coach in the world is there.
Yep.
I need to prepare those kids for that one tournament.
Yep.
So they're not good enough in my mind, to be seen every month. Right. So a coach sees you in April, they start making notes, right? Then they see you in May and you have not corrected those character things, right? The pouting, the not sharing the ball. You ain't corrected that. So when they keep seeing you, they're uninterested, right? Mm-hmm. So then when I submit the full project, okay, because we done been in enough tournaments where we around these coaches to get out all the crying and the pouting and the frustration and the turning the ball over, keep doing the same freaking thing. Mm-hmm. So where when you get the full product in July, you're like, hey, who's this kid? Yeah. Right. And it's like a surprise. And then it becomes an interest. And then I'm like, well, hey, look, catch them in high school. You know, I've developed them now to go to high school. We'll see what that looks like, and then we come back. So the parents get confused because they don't know. And these coaches are just out there because maybe they're trying to coach at college. I don't know what their MO is, but it's not about the kids.
It's not the kids.
You know, and so guess what? We'll play them teams, and we'll get beat by 20. You know, but I'm like, my kids are going to get better. So we get to senior year, the girls are going to colleges, and they're ending up at the same freaking colleges as the other kids
ones that needed all the exposure.
Yeah.
And then I get hit with the parents, and they're like, Coach, I should have never left. Like, we was paying like almost $5,000 a summer, and we ended up at the same school.
At the same school. Like, they don't really realize that, and they just.
I'm like, I was a former collegiate player. You listen to this dude off the street
that ain't never played college before.
And
these people that
doesn't understand the process.
Yes.
People don't understand the process.
The process. I'm like, Adidas sponsorship.
Don't understand
people that have
it's a process.
Camp, like, and they put on these individual like lessons, and some of these I'm like, what are y'all? They're making moves at half court, like. Why are you
not game like
10 times before you reach the 3-point line? Like, what is that?
Why?
Not game like. Not game like.
Nobody's teaching fundamentals, and everybody think they Steph Curry. Like, listen, you're not Steph Curry.
Yeah, man,
and they got them folks believing that.
Steph Curry, the GOAT.
And then I had to tell my brother, I was like, are all y'all tournaments that y'all all supposed to be going to, are they AAU sanctioned? He said, what?
Oh.
They have to be AAU sanctioned to go to nationals. You just can't just show up at nationals and not play in the right tournaments.
Right. They're gonna be like,
right.
Who are you?
And I'm just like, y'all have to go to AAU sanctioned tournaments. And I said, and then also being an athlete, a collegiate athlete, colleges, they go recruit. They have dead periods, so you're not getting all the college coaches at every tournament that y'all think y'all getting exposure to. Some of them, they probably ain't even there.
Right.
They're not there. Exposure to
like, this is the best
audience
opportunity when they're not even there.
And they go to certain tournaments. Like Brittnay said, like that everybody's at that Bayou. And so I'm just like, but they think they got to go to this tournament, that tournament, and this tournament.
So parents, make sure that your kid is with.
Just educate yourself.
The process.
Just educate yourself.
They need to be with somebody that understands the process.
Yes.
Not joking.
And if someone says it's a sponsored team and they still asking for $3,000, it ain't sponsored.
It's not sponsored. Hold on, B. Say that one more time. Like I don't think people understand that. When you're sponsored,
you don't pay
everything is paid.
It's free.
You don't have to pay for anything.
To my brother, I was like, I don't remember paying for anything.
No. If it's sponsored, it's free.
Because he was sponsored. Yeah.
Like my mom, because my mom wouldn't have been able to afford me to play basketball if it was not majority paid for.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I'm just like, where do we come to? Like, and people are like, why don't you do this? I said, honestly, y'all, like, I just don't even want to take y'all money. I could literally make a killing. I just don't want to take y'all money.
Like, I want to help you. I don't want your money. Like, I legit want to mold you. I want to show you, like, this is what you need in order to be successful.
Right.
It's weird. It's like my high school coach did private lessons while he was still coaching high school and AAU. Mm-hmm. And it was free to us. Mm-hmm. And he charged $25 an hour.
An hour. And it's probably $45 now an hour.
Oh, maybe
60, depending on where you at.
Oh, okay.
But it's like the barbershop.
I didn't know you had that long stint of AAU basketball.
I did, yeah. So those girls are like, one of them just finished. She's at an NAIA. Okay. She's the last one. So she just finished her career. I don't know if she'll play this COVID year or not. Okay. But the thing about all my kids was, and I always preached that from the beginning, was the ball stops bouncing, right? Mm-hmm. And you got to go do something else. Yep. So all those girls, mm-hmm. we got a nurse, we got a teacher, we got two biology majors, accountant, marketing. Like they trusted me, mm-hmm. and now they'll be able to continue to stay. Like nothing's worse than when I see like people that I play with
still trying to travel overseas and train. Send help.
No. Not even that.
I don't even know
bruh.
what's going on.
Not even that. But that is something.
Dreamers here.
Right.
No.
You're over X, Y, and Z. What's the age?
Stop. If you had 30, it's done. You're done.
Dude, my knees can't even. My knees can't take it. But no, dude. Like these former like great high school basketball players that are doing absolutely nothing.
Right.
You know, like they're in the restaurant working, and I'm like, dude, like nobody told you
right.
that there was life after basketball,
yep.
and therefore you didn't even try because you didn't know.
Right.
You know, a lot of these people just don't know,
and people just have to be honest with them. I feel like some people aren't just honest. Maybe if their family, and I know you don't want to crush anybody's dreams, but at what point is it like you gotta do something different? Like
there's just a way to say it.
It's a way to say it, yes, but like, and I guess nobody's to those people. Like, who's telling them? Like,
some people just don't though. Like, I think back to our initial conversation, you just don't know what you don't know,
I got you.
And you have this expectation, like I'm going to be this whatever athlete, and it's like, what does life after basketball look like for you? And most people think about it because basketball is legit. All you know,
and I'm like,
so I think that's the beauty
and
of
then
this
exceptional
podcast. Like
basketball player, it translate over. So let's just go find something that you are decently good at, like, and it'll translate over. If you're a hard worker, it'll translate over.
Yeah.
So like my parents like were just very honest. Look, if you don't make a 4.0, you can't play basketball. So then that becomes like, what kind of dog?
I would have never played.
Yeah, it's right. So it's just the foundation of, because right, they saw my brother. Yeah, they saw him go through it. So it's like them basically telling me, that was their way of saying there's life after basketball. Yeah, you can't do this thing forever. Yeah, so figure out what you want to do in school. Now they never told me what to do. Yeah, but when you were when that's a prerequisite to play basketball, you're like, okay, I got to figure this thing out.
Right. Like you're a legit student athlete.
You are a student athlete.
Dude, like in basketball in high school, like my coach never told me how good I was. My parents never told me how good I was. So I didn't know that college was even a thing.
That's what I just said to Jess. I said, I didn't know. I was just out there playing. I was just
playing. And then like the coaches come and it's like, okay, wait, cool. So I'm gonna get to do this thing, you know? But then it's like the student part where they're like, okay, what's your major? So a lot of schools I couldn't go to because they didn't offer engineering.
Wow. Yeah. That's crazy.
And so therefore it was like, okay, well, this list has shrunk because if I'm gonna go to school for free, then you guys, I need to do what I want to do after this.
Do a major that you know you can, that you're going to
get me a degree so I can go make some money.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's free, but yeah, obviously it ain't free, but it's free.
No, it ain't right.
It ain't free.
It's not free, but it's free.
It ain't nothing free.
It's definitely a lot of sacrifice, mental toughness, the discipline,
time,
builds character, the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So after your stint in, what made you stop? I guess what made you stop since you went all that time period? That was a long time period.
So I stopped because they graduated.
Oh, so you were just doing that group of girls.
I just committed to that group.
Okay.
And that group is like my kids.
Gotcha.
Like we just had like a Christmas party. They all came over. Like they're still cool.
Oh, that's good.
And like what I wanted to tell them, was some of you may or may not go play college basketball, and that's okay.
Right.
But remember this sisterhood, because being part of a team and not being a part of a team is two different things.
Let's talk.
And you build that sisterhood, right? Yep. Because all of them didn't necessarily like their high school teammates.
Right.
So I'm like, well, this is fun. This is summer, You guys should get along. You coming from different backgrounds. Let this be your bond. And they do. I mean, they still hang out. They're 22, 23 years old. Yeah. They've known each other since 12.
Yeah. We have I have girls. I have like 4 girls that we kind of still come and communicate with.
And I think it's crazy because I feel like my high school teammates, we definitely were closer. We were able to build that bond or that relationship. We were talking earlier just about that transition to college and not really having that
same camaraderie,
that relationship that I think we should have. If we would have invested more in building
the team,
those relationships and the team, I think we could have been way more successful
than we were.
So
Way too much.
I agree. I agree there, right? Because I'm watching this March Madness and I'm seeing like the guys, the upsets. Mm-hmm. In high school, this is funny. We won championships. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna say that I like my teammates. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm there for them. I can't say that. There's a few that I still kick it with. No. But there's a few that I'm less like, we played ball together and one state and, did all that. Yeah. But the thing with that was it becomes so much of a competition, that you kind of lose, kind of the friendship, sisterhood part of it if you can't handle it.
Like in
college? I'm still talking about high school.
In high school. Okay.
So, for instance, now with me being in 7th grade to 12th grade, and that's kind of where if you were good enough, you got brought up in 7th grade while you're 12 years old, and you're with each other for a period of time, like not like college. College, we're coming in every other year, right? Mm-hmm. You coming in, right? Nene, that was my junior year.
Yeah, your junior year. Yep.
And my mental is starting to check out. You know what I'm saying? And you're coming in fresh and hungry. And I'm like,
somebody's spot. You know how Nene and Angie came in. I'm going to take somebody's spot.
Yeah, they taking somebody's spot. And look, I'm like, okay, we gonna compete, but if you get it, go ahead, because I've helped prepared you and I've done my part as a teammate to bust it in practice to get it there. But I'm starting to just, I'm ready to get this thing on out because I had my fun in the sun, and I think that's what differentiates college from high school. Gotcha. Also, I feel like in high school, like there was just a clear directive of individual goals and team goals. Mm-hmm. I think once you get to college, it's just a different beast. It does start to build like I got to take somebody's spot. Yeah. Because I want to play.
Right.
Yeah. Like who? And like you because who that you feel like you're going to play.
Yeah, like who you can't come from high school, dropping 30, playing the whole game, to now like maybe getting 5 minutes. And you're like, I'm practicing harder than I've ever practiced in my life.
Basketball is legit life and I'm not playing. Like,
and it's like, you talk about mental toughness, like how does that translate to not, this is my thing. Forget being a star. I just want to be on the court. Yeah. I'm a good cheerleader, but I want to be on the court, And so how do you stay involved when you're playing 5 to 10 minutes in a 40-minute game?
Yeah.
So then it's like, okay, well, I gotta figure out how to get mine. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that means I gotta bang y'all up in practice. I'm gonna bang you up in practice because at least I got something.
Oh, I remember one time, B, you got so mad at me. I know it had got real intense. I can't remember what.
Yeah, everyone just get mad like that.
But you had got you were like, your long arms, you're fouling me. I was like,
I remember that.
I'm just playing defense. Like,
there's a picture of that, Jazz.
Yes, it is.
A clear foul, as I was saying.
And I was like, Brittnay don't even get that mad, but she was pissed.
So, fun fact, Brittnay,
what?
For whatever reason, I don't know what, but we're here today.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think Brittnay's one of the best human beings, but you didn't like me when I first came in.
Oh yeah.
Why you ain't like Brittnay? Or why you ain't like James?
I was gonna say, I like Brittnay. Brittnay didn't like
me. Here's the thing. And it's so crazy. It was just an outward, we're going to say swag, because I don't even want to call it arrogance because I know you. So it's just an outward swag that Jazz came with.
In town.
Right?
Not the
like, it is so crazy because
did I say that? I feel like you
did not.
Milk tin.
She's making us
Jazz be erasing her whole memory.
Oh, Jazz.
I do.
Memphis finest, Jazz. Come on.
Me. It created the grit and grind. Like, it is.
That's what it was. That's what it was. It was that.
But this is the crazy thing.
Like, Memphis people are just different in general. Like we're built different.
But you wasn't. This is what's crazy because Nene came in with a talk, you came in not saying nothing, but the swag was like too much.
Nothing. You gonna feel this energy. I'm not gonna say
yeah, the energy was just off. Like at least Nene, I knew where I stood. She was like, look, I'm coming here to I'm beating everybody and everything. And it's like, all right, that's cool. You know, but Jazz coming there not saying too much, but it's just the energy. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this.
I've been with it.
Like you can really tell, like now that I think back, I could tell before even Jazz came out of her mouth, like who she thought was Slaw. Like just by her, like just like her body language, you can just tell, like, oh, that she trash.
Oh yeah,
absolutely,
yeah, most definitely, most definitely. But it didn't last long. It did not last long. It was the initial recruiting trip.
Oh,
all right.
I wouldn't.
And then once you signed, Rudy was like, "Hey, B, Jazz, cool, man." I'm like, "Man, listen, I ain't trying to hear it."
Shout out to Rudy.
Like
to find her is like the GOAT. Like we need to find her.
Yeah, man. Rudy put you on, and when Rudy said something, I believed it because Rudy ain't saying very much. So when she said you was cool, I was like, I'm gonna let it go. And then once you got there, I was like, yeah, Jazz is cool.
Memphis. So Rudy played like a boy. Like her, she was just super talented.
Yeah, she was. I remember I came and seen y'all play like in Missouri or something. I was like,
yeah. She could.
Yeah, we actually played against Rudy in high school.
Oh,
and not knowing that we would be teammates.
Oh, wow.
So that was crazy. But yeah, we beat him, but Rudy was serving. Rudy was out there because Memphis came to our shake and bake tournament. She went to East High. They came out to New Orleans for a high school.
Shoot.
Yeah, because that was a tough game, man.
Because I know. Because I remember Jazz told me after basketball, I think it was after basketball, she was like, yeah, you know how, I know I used to wear my shorts rolled up before it was a thing. And Jazz was like, bro, she trash. And I'm like, yeah, how you gonna call me trash because I roll my shorts up? I didn't think you could play with your shorts like that.
Who coming out playing like this?
I was like, what does the shorts have to do with anything?
Hey, she was bringing back that old school NBA.
You know, I tell people, I was like, bro, I've been running my shorts in 2007. This is not new.
But you know, everything goes in trends because at one point it was like the big,
but nobody was doing it though.
And then now it's like the little.
No, when I was
when we were we was long baggy. At least I was.
I was long and baggy.
Yeah.
I was rolling back. I couldn't play like that.
I was like, who is this kid? Who is this kid?
Just changing the culture, right? Just coming here talking shit, and then want to do her own thing, wear her own stuff.
Nene,
Brittnay, I talk that much crap.
Nene, you talking crap now? Like, yeah. Anytime you open your mouth.
Maybe at practice, I did that practice. I feel like I did that practice. Yeah, maybe so.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, which was good in the games because when you talking, you made them like, yeah, that's what Nene do. Right. But in practice, like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, here we go.
Here we go.
So now that what are you doing now, Brittnay? Is it like were you working or are you?
Yeah,
so your brother owned the engineering company. You work for work with your brother?
No, we don't work together. You can't work with family. No, it ain't nothing like that. No, my brother works for Microsoft, so I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't try to get into his line of work. So I'm actually in the chemical industry. So I work for a pharmaceutical division. Basically, the product that we make goes on like a Bayer or a Aleve. Mm-hmm. Oh. It helps once you drink the water, it slides down. Right, we've had medicine that's not coated, and it's like in your throat. So it's a coating on medicine. But basically, my involvement in this chemical industry, which I think is crazy because I'm mechanical, and I knew that if I came back to Baton Rouge, I was going to have to get into that chemical industry because it's just chemical.
I was going to say, why is that? Is it chemical like engineering? That's the dominant, the dominant market in Baton Rouge?
Yes. In Louisiana.
Okay.
In Louisiana. So my involvement here, but that's kind of where. So I was working as a mechanical engineer in my previous job, but it's just one of those things like you can only do so much. Like the chemical industry reigns supreme in this region in the Gulf South. So in order to just have longevity, to be able to move up, to be able to just get paid. It's just, you got to go to that chemical field. And so what I do with that is just do projects. So basically I'm a project engineer, but basically a project manager of my project work. So I have we have major projects and minor projects. My minor projects overall spend is like $1.3 million. I have to come up with a game plan on how we spend that within the company, either for safety purposes, quality purposes, production capacity, whatever it takes. And that's just a year. Like my counterpart does large projects, which are like $3 to $5 million, but that's like one project that goes on to like 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
So I'm doing 8 to 10 projects a year. And basically it's just finding a team or finding a problem, right? We have meetings about what needs to be improved in the plant. Right. And that involves either equipment changes, production, like line changes, piping, all that type of stuff. Yeah. How do we improve our process to make pounds quicker, right? Get more product out, make more money. Yeah. And then we create a team, or I create a team and say, hey, you guys have presented this idea. Let's work together. Help me understand what you need. Let's see how much funding I can give you. And then we move forward.
Gotcha.
So you're leading teams, you're creating strategies, so doing all the things. And so that takes us back to sports, right? And that has helped you with everyday life, even in your career.
Yeah. So like, is your role as a basketball player? So like we know what kind of basketball player you were, but like your role that you played at Arkansas State, say, are you still using that kind of role in your professional life?
Yeah.
Are you still there?
Yeah. I mean, I think it carries, right? I mean, like in order to play sports of any kind, I think you have to know, number one, how to be in a team. Number two, when to lead and when to follow.
Say that again.
Yeah.
Set goals and expectations, and then you got to go out and crush them, execute.
With excellence, though.
Say it again.
And it's a rhetorical question. And it's all about how you execute. Like, how do you execute?
It's all about how you execute, right? Like, we could drop a play and it might not work.
Right.
But that play could have different options.
That's where you go.
So you have to know that when I'm going into this execution phase, I got to also be cognizant that it may not work.
Things can change. Right. How do we?
Right. Scope change, material may not get in, when the plant shut down for you to do your job, like how do you still move forward successfully? Yeah. Put a little bow on it and then, either close that off or do a temporary and then do a permanent next time. And so in that industry, right, it's so funny because I work with people that I know have never played sports before.
How can you tell?
They ain't got to tell me.
Let's talk about it. How can you
tell if somebody never played sports?
They ain't got to tell me.
Very evident. It's so
But I can see it.
As the leader, you're the project manager. Right. How can you tell? Because you can tell. Like, you know what the big picture is. And some people just are like so stuck in that selfish.
I will say,
I don't understand. Like, this is for the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I think so to be an athlete or to just go through that process, right? We talked about time management or lack thereof time, adversity, perseverance, persistence, like all of those characteristics. So when you get into a group and then the first thing, like, either someone doesn't understand and they let it go, and you're like, well, hold on. I just called the play. If you didn't know how to do the play, you said, no, I don't know my spot. We've been there. We've called the play and that person don't know where to go.
A lot of some people whose basketball...
And because basketball IQ, though.
Names, I refuse to say the name, but it was one teammate in general. And B, I know you know who it is.
I know.
And this was probably one of the most athletic people on our team.
Sure.
And I was like,
No,
you can't remember a play.
No.
Like the basketball IQ was just.
And my thing is like
the most simple, simple of the simplest.
Yeah.
Like, and
how do we not know?
And then you got those people that like, you know, I could come in and play pretty much. I'm like, bro, you only need one spot to remember.
Only got one spot.
One spot.
Else has to remember like 3.
Cut, go to the corner.
That's it.
As a point guard, right? We have to know everyone's spot.
Every spot.
Yeah.
Because we have to tell them where to go when you're like, the play is for you, dog. Like, go to your spot.
Go to your spot, man. Why you not in your spot?
So when you're in the workforce and you get to that and you're like, all right, like you could have came to my office, you could have talked to me about it one-on-one. Like now we get into a point where I'm gonna do a scope change because of your lack of competence in your field.
Yeah.
All right. So you get that, right? Then you get the second person that just does not like the over anxious anxiety, like things are going good. And you pull them into a team meeting and someone asks a question and they just cannot, like, they can't answer either because they have failed to prepare or they just, again, incompetence, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you shouldn't feel, in basketball and in real world, all right, something doesn't go your way, okay? That happens on a daily basis. Like, we can't just quit. I've had people go home, bruh. Like they made a mistake and they just cannot handle. Right? Remember that one time in practice where like we kept making turnovers and he made us. He kept subbing us out. No, like we were running 5-on-5 continuous, and like if I made a turnover, it's like Nene go in, and Nene made a turnover, Jazz go in, and Jazz made a turnover. I win, and it's just like like you learn how to just have a short term memory loss is what Jazz is having. Like you just remember to just let it go, right?
Right.
Like just let stuff go. Yeah. People cannot deal with pressure.
Pressure.
How?
Like knowing that you have to execute and you right. Like in the project world, things don't happen overnight. All right. It takes about a couple months to form.
Yeah.
What have you done with your time, to prepare you for when your name is called, right? As a basketball player, right? We sit on the bench and your name is called. You got to go in. It's time. Your name has been called. It's ready to go.
No.
And you sitting there like, oh crap. I'm like, this
like you had this whole time to prepare.
You had this whole time.
Yeah.
So it's just like they don't understand preparation for their job. Being a team player is preparation for your job.
Right.
Because if you don't get it, we are leaning on you. You're the subject matter expert in that area. So now you done made my whole life bad. Now I gotta go. And figure out what's your expertise to help you out.
You being a bad team, and essentially they're being a bad teammate because
you're being a bad teammate.
Yeah.
And it's on a daily. Like I deal with this on a day. So this is my thing. Like, and I talk to Jazz about this. Like I want to get into project management, full time, and get my certification. But I don't want to be a people leader. Like I don't want to manage people. I just want to do my thing.
Right.
And you continue to respect me in that realm.
Right.
But I don't want to deal with these because then I got to fire these people. Because if I got to build my own team, they're going to look different than what's existing in my group of people, Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just your person, your personality, like be like, that's the basketball player she was. Like she wanted to play her role.
Yeah.
And like I came in there like, listen, get off the court. But like, I don't, and even today, like I'm just like, bro, they need to be fired. Like they're not doing your role.
Yeah,
like you're not doing your part. Like step your foot up. Like I have a guy that I was he's a superintendent. I was just like, I said, bro, you're not gonna make my job hard because you don't want to do your part.
Yeah.
I had to tell him like you're being a bad teammate because you don't want to answer your phone. Like pick your phone up. Like you're a superintendent, you have to pick your phone up. You have to communicate with people. And so I'm gonna point you out. Like listen. Come on, bro.
That's one of those things. Like you can tell that person
like this,
didn't
the
play.
Don't
like
go.
He's not a part of a team.
But he did though. Like he did,
or he was just a bad teammate.
He might have been a bad teammate. Yeah,
one of those
bad teammate.
Just being a bad. You're not being a bad. Or you
those exist.
Right. And so you have to do better.
Talk
like
about it. No,
not talk about it.
No. We ain't going there.
Like,
we're not gonna.
You can just tell, like, but he right, like, and that's my thing. Like, I thrive. Like,
Yeah.
Like, tell me. I want to tell somebody what to do.
Wants to.
I want to tell everybody what to do. Like, for sure.
Yeah.
We need to figure out how that translates into your professional life. Like, how can you just be at that point where you tell everybody what to do? Like, that's what Nene wants to do. That's all. Like, that's what you've done that. So,
and some people are good at that. I can't do that.
Super direct. One thing about Nene. Very direct.
You know where you stand at all times. Absolutely.
You gonna get the same me.
White. There's no gray area. Like, you know exactly.
And I live in the gray. Like, I love the gray.
I live in the gray.
I love it because it's just you're in both sides, right? To where it gets to the point where I'm just like I'm the office therapist, right? Everyone comes into my into my office and tells me things. I'm like, why y'all want to talk to me?
Trust me with this,
but they do, and it's funny because they talk about each other, and I'm just like, but neither one of y'all are doing your job. But but you could go ahead and vent, right. and it's just one of those things. It's just like that's where I float here. Like, I don't get too high, I don't get too low. I just like even keel. So that's why I don't think I'll be a good people leader, because it'll be one of those things where I just can't fire. It'll be like I'm gonna keep putting them on like these improvement plans. And to where somebody's gonna be like, look, we just gotta let them go.
I think once you've had enough, you definitely fire. I think you're one of those people, like, you want, like Nene. I don't know if I would want to work for Nene, because she's gonna cut you off as soon as you
quickly.
Like, you're not doing what you need to do the way that I want you to do it, or the way I explain for you to do it. You're done. B, I think you'll give somebody an improvement plan. Say, hey, sure. This is where we're gonna work on. I'm gonna coach you through it.
About 3 of them.
Yeah, maybe about 3 of them.
Because I understand, like, I try not to, I try to be as non-judgmental as possible. I try not to hold it against people, because we don't know where people come from and, how they got there. And then they're not you, and that's like, that's like a big life thing. I have to always remember, like, people are not like
they don't think like, I had to learn it too.
They don't think like you. And so you have to make sure when you're explaining things to people, like, you got to come down to wherever level they're at.
Make it digest.
This is why I can't work with my brother, because he's Nene. Like, he's like, dude, I want it done like this. And I'm like, dude, I don't look at it like that. Like, I look at it totally different.
Yeah.
And we understand that. We could work together because we get that. But no, it's hard. It's hard to, hold that against people. But yeah,
so since we're talking about being a good teammate and better, so like, how do you get better in your role? Like, what do you do to stay sharp when it's time to get in?
And not only professionally, let's talk about it, because in here, like, you're gonna hear some audio where you hear kids in the background.
Right. So
ghetto, and the kids just don't understand. We're trying to record a podcast,
but y'all want mommy.
So how does that translate? Not only professionally, but you have, how old is your son?
21 months.
21 months.
Brittnay, don't be that person.
I'm keeping it.
He 4 years old. How old is your son? 48 months.
Yeah. 48 months. 48 months. No. When do you stop though? Hold on.
2.
Like, when they get to 2?
At 2.
At 2 is done.
Well, he ain't 2 yet.
I don't want to hear anything past 24 months. It's like, listen.
Right.
Please.
He's 20
more months.
Well, you got the development program.
He's 27 months today.
But you know what? B is so structured. I can see her like looking at milestones at like the 18-month milestones, making sure baby is crack, making sure we're doing all the things.
There's a plan there. I'm gonna look at it. They trying to help me get to where I need to get to. So I need to make sure my son is like, okay, we here or we not? We up, we down, cool.
Yeah.
We need to improve. Okay. So in this part of the podcast, it's called the No Look. We just give you questions, whatever the first thing that comes to your mind. It doesn't have to be super rapid, but
yeah, like, you don't have to think about it too hard. Don't
think about it too hard, Brittnay.
All right.
I know you're gonna try to think about it.
I got the first question because I want to hear Brittnay's answer.
Okay.
The greatest of all time.
Ooh.
WNBA player. Who do you have?
Shamika Holtzclaw. That was my person growing up.
She was a baller though.
She was a baller.
Wait, hold on. Let's not go crazy here.
College. I said WNBA.
WNBA greatest of all time.
I guess we can't change her answer. That was her answer.
Yeah, you can't change.
We don't.
She had some issues, but when she came into the league, it was still there.
But she was a baller.
She was a baller. Like, legit. I
forget about Shamika Holtzclaw.
She was a baller.
Oh my God.
Okay, so what about NBA?
Ooh, I mean MJ all day.
Okay.
MJ. Okay.
Great job. Great job.
Okay. So this is not necessarily rapid. Who's your starting five of all time? So it can be. You can have.
You can even have a mix. Let's do it.
Let's do a mix.
Have a mix of women,
girls and boys.
Who's your ultimate point guard? Your ultimate shooting? All that.
Is it me?
Collegiate. How about this? How about we do it? Collegiate. Let's do collegiate. Let's take out professional.
Wait, we're gonna do 8 state collegiate?
No, 8 state. Just collegiate. We had some ballers in collegiate.
Okay, collegiate ballers.
You might have to think about this a little bit more. Yeah, but
okay. Let me. I don't think I have to think about it too hard. All right.
Here we go.
So let me do a girls.
Let me do
a girls and a boy. Okay. All right, girls point guard. So I'm gonna go Sue Bird. Right. I'm gonna go Taurasi for my 2 guard.
Yes.
I'm gonna go 3. I'm gonna go Maya Moore, and I hate that I picked 3 UConn people, but they off the charts. Word. Then I'm gonna go Shamika Holtzclaw, and I'm gonna go Asia Wilson.
Oh, I forget about Asia Wilson.
Yeah, I forgot about her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because her collegiate dominance at the 5.
Yeah. What about the Pair sisters in that big room?
They were. I mean, we played against them, so I'm like,
Yeah. I saw them in person. Yeah, we played against them in person.
I played. Yeah. So boys,
it's a little different. Okay, boys.
It's a little bit more difficult for me.
Okay. The boys. It's so many, right? So. I mean, I could still go. See, that's where I gotta put. Let me think about this. All right, I'm gonna go John Wall for my point guard.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Steph for my 2 guard.
Davidson.
Because Davidson, Steph. I mean, we talking about knocking people out in the tournament and be underrated. Okay. For my small forward in college, I'm gonna go Grant Hill because that was my dude back in the day.
Yeah. All right.
Duke. All right, and then 4, I'm going Zion because I'm a little bit biased.
There you go. Yeah.
And then a collegiate center. You know what? Let me think. They got some centers banging out right now with Gonzaga. The greatest that never happened, Greg Oden.
Ohio State. Yeah. The Ohio State. Yeah. Okay, let's do it. Let's do A-State. Who your starting 5? I want to know.
Okay. All right, let's go.
I won't be, my feelings won't be hurt if I don't make it. That's fine.
You ain't gonna make it.
Okay.
So A-State, and A-State gets a little, because there's a couple different, anyway. We'll go Rudy number 1.
Who you play with within your 5 years, your 4 years.
Well, that's what I have to go with.
Yeah, you gotta go with who you were with your 4 years there.
Yeah, so Rudy, Allie.
There you go.
Shit, it'll be the damn starting 5. Rudy, Allie, it had to be Rudy, Allie, Ronnie. Now that 4 spot gets a little weird there. Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's a difficult spot.
I'm trying to think who's the 5.
I don't know y'all 4s.
I know.
Adrian Davis was the 5.
He was a 5.
Yeah, but she could have been 4 too. Yes.
For y'all.
So we'll have to go Adrian and Shay Scott then.
Okay, Shay Scott made the 5, but Shay was a good back. If Shay would like really put her mind to it, she was good.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
She was just, her attitude got in her way too much.
You know, it's one of those things like we have to remember we are 18 to 21.
Yeah.
You know, and I think if you look at us now, like we would all say we'll do things a little bit differently.
Yeah.
But her at that age, you think about how raw, and if she knew, how to work or was made to work, then her dominance would have been, up here.
For sure.
Yeah.
Who you going with, Jess?
Oh, you want me to go?
I want you to go. I'm going last.
I'm putting myself as point guard. Let's be clear.
Of course you are.
But I'm Rudy at the 2. I'm putting Rudy at the 2.
Okay.
It's my freshman year.
Okay.
I got
Yeah. That was a good little mix when y'all was both out there.
myself, Rudy, Adrian Davey at the 3. Ooh. And so I'm gonna go with the 4. I'll go with Lindsay Schloop.
Okay.
And then at the 3. Ooh. I ain't gonna lie, it's either between you or Veronica.
Okay. Veronica was an athlete.
Veronica was an athlete.
She was an athlete.
You or Veronica at the 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm okay with that.
It's either between you or V.
Yeah. No, for real.
It depends on which day. It's either between you or like whoever is healthy. If it's
Right.
Shania fully healthy, I'll take Shania because she's gonna compete. If it's, I feel like she's an athlete and she's good at what she does, but it just kind of depends on mental state, right? So
okay. Who y'all got coming off the bench first, and then
coming off the Nene? Now you asking
no, who coming off the bench first?
Let's see. With that group, with my starters, I'll put you, Nene. I'll put you coming off the bench first. That's a good look. Because you can go 1 to 3.
Yeah,
she can play. Yeah,
so you can move. You can shift a couple people around. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Who was your starting 5?
I'm putting Jazz at the point. I'm taking Angie. I'm not putting her at the 2 only because I'm taking Angie off the bench because she got a chip on her shoulder, so she coming in. Right?
That's good.
She's coming off the bench.
Yeah.
I'm putting myself because I ended up playing the 4 in the Sun Belt, so I'm putting myself.
No, you're a 3. Like,
but they put me at the 4.
Okay.
But I'm putting I put myself at the 4. That 2 and that 3. I'm putting Shay Scott at the 5.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 and the 3. And I can't remember who I played with.
You played with Q. Who was a part of your class? Nene. Like, who was a part?
Y'all gotta give C Star some love.
Oh, C Star, yeah.
They that's what I was thinking. Because everybody in my class left. I was like, it was like Shay left.
You and Shay.
That's why.
So I guess I'm gonna have to put Angie at the 2 just for a night now, and then shoot, who else is left?
For the 3 though.
You know, I'm gonna start Angie, and then I'm gonna take Ebony Jefferson off the bench, cause
hey, yeah, she gonna come in there and get it.
Both of them kind of like that chip on her.
Yeah.
So I think that's it. Is it? Or I'm missing one.
You missing one.
Oh, okay. I'm missing one.
You missing a 3.
Man, who's a 3? I'm sorry, I can look at the camera. My bad.
I know the 3s are hard because we run 4 on one end, so it's just kind of interchangeable.
But then you want somebody versatile though too that can play.
And I'm gonna do Sloop because she can play defense. Sloop played a little bit of defense. I'm gonna do Sloop. I'm gonna do Sloop at the 3, or put me at the 3 and Sloop at the 4.
There you go.
Oh, Sloop at the 4.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Because I can't think of nobody else.
See, anything that came after me, no offense, but y'all was just different.
Okay, 1 year. Okay.
Everybody that was before me was like what I was, the type of ball I was used to playing. Then y'all little young whippersnappers come up in there.
It was all over the place. It was all over the place.
All over the place, man. I'm just like, that's why I said by the time I got in my junior year, I'm just like starting to check out because I'm like, basketball is changing.
I'm not gonna do no wasted movement. Like y'all doing the most,
dude.
Y'all doing the most.
Yeah,
no, that's most efficient.
Right. So
yeah.
So any last nuggets for those athletes that some of them aren't gonna go professional. Like how do they prepare for their last year in collegiate basketball?
How do you prepare?
Like that last game,
man.
Because I felt a sigh of relief. I was like, oh, this is over. I was done.
Like you feel a sigh of relief,
but everybody's not like that. Next? Some people are like, what do I do with my life? Like I knew what I was doing, but some people don't know. Like, what are some steps that you would like? What's some advice you would give to that person?
Yeah.
Man, well, hopefully you're not waiting until that last year or that last game to start to figure like, oh crap, what am I gonna do after this? I mean, just the biggest thing for me, like, is goal setting. Yeah. I mean, like, you cannot go from A to B if you don't know where you're trying to go.
Gotcha.
So just understand and start to create realistic goals and then those dream big goals, right? Mm-hmm. Because you should dream big. I I think that's the shooting for the stars, and then you might land on the clouds type thing. So like I do my normal goal setting yearly. And it's personal goals I want to get to, you know, whether it's in my relationship as a parent, as an, you know, for my job. And then, you know, we start to make our steps in how we're going to reach those goals, right? So you got to plan them first. Okay. What you plan, you should have some actions behind how are we going to get to that, right? Like you can't say, I want to be, I shouldn't even go professional because like I said, in year 4, you should know what you want to do. But let's just go basketball wise, right? We can't say that we want to be a 40% 3-point shooter and you ain't shooting, you know, 300 threes every day, you know, in the gym all the time. So you got to have some type of actions behind these goals. And then just be real with yourself, you know, like, is this achievable? Can I really do this? There's going to be, you know, life happens along the way that may put that hurdle, that stumbling block in there where it's like, crap, like I'm not going to reach that. And that's okay. You know, some of my goals I didn't reach last year and I just put them back on my list.
Right.
You know, you just keep chugging along. That's just a persistence, right? You just keep going. And then after that, like your goals, they're set. You're real with yourself. How are we going to do this? You know, and there's bad days. There's bad days all the time. And then you get to that execution level, right? Which is kind of what we covered earlier. You just got to know how to go and finish, like go finish the job, go win the game, go win the day. You know, just get the most out of that day, right? We're given the same amount of time every day. You know, what do you get out of that?
You can tell B was a coach. Just the motivation. Let's go. Let me go write down my goals.
Let me go write my goals down because I'll
figure out what I need to do for this.
Look, I write goals like on a day, like even at work, like I just take sticky notes out because it is like, you know, there's just so much time, right? Like throughout your day. For me, it's a 9-hour day. Yeah. And I'm not working the full 9 hours, you know? So it's like, let me do 3 or 4 things I know I need to do either within this week or this day to just keep my mind engaged. So that if someone comes and asks a question or if, you know, just know how to speak on something, you don't have to be fully there. Just know how to say, hey, look, I'm working on it. It's here. I'll have it to you next week. Or I've done no work on it. You just got to be able to talk to what you're doing. Yeah. So I said daily goals. I said weekly goals, yearly goals.
Yearly goals.
So that's good. That's a good takeaway.
Yeah.
Well, that's game, y'all.
That's game.
That's game.
We won.
Yes.
Thanks for coming out here talking to us.
Yeah,
absolutely. I'm so proud of y'all, man. This is big. I like when people do stuff that I know I can't do or don't even want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's cool to me.
Nene, like, this was Nene's vision. And I'm just like, all right, I'll do it. But I don't even like to talk to people. So I don't know how to. She was like, no, I think you secretly like it. And I was
secretly. I think she secretly likes it.
No, but this is cool. This is cool. I'm proud of y'all.
So thank you so much, B.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Much love.